And welcome back to North of the Broad. With me now is Stephen Murray. As you know, he is the mayor of the city of Beaufort. Good to see you.
Hey, Robyn.
Happy Easter to you. Here we are in Holy Week, and
Happy
you have a
Easter.
beautiful kind of a light blue, Robyn's egg blue shirt.
Yeah, well, it's spring, so the weather's beautiful. It's Heritage Week in Beaufort County, which is exciting.
Very exciting.
Soft Shell Crab Week for Port Royal.
That's right.
Easter on Sunday. There's a lot of exciting things going on in the Lowcountry.
And something that has been very exciting has been your relationship with Ukraine and the donations that have been coming in through the Beaufort Pride of Place. Would you share with our viewers kind of where we are with all of that? And really just very quickly, what inspired you again?
Well, I think like a lot of us, you watch what's happening in Ukraine with this Russian invasion, and I think a lot of us are compelled to action. We want to help in some way. I've been just really amazed by their ability to fight for themselves and to fight for their sovereignty and for their democracy. And I think there's a connection as an American, with our own sovereignty and our own democracy. Right. And so, in the thought of how can we help, how can we do things? And I've had citizens ask for flying a flag or passing a resolution, and those are great symbolic gestures. But to somebody in Ukraine, me flying a flag over the top of City Hall, I'm not sure is that meaningful. Mm-hmm. So thinking about what would a mayor like me in Ukraine be going through right now, right. If we didn't have a strong national defense like we do in America, would we be prepared? The answer is no. Mm-hmm. So just late one night up, having trouble sleeping, started looking at Ukraine, looking at Wikipedia, learning about different cities. And so I stumbled on this little town of Ostro. And they have a great website. Their mayor was elected like me in 2020. They're population-wise, they're about the same size. They have the oldest university in Ukraine. We have a 260-plus-year-old university here in Beaufort. They're on a river, we're on a river. So there were a lot of similarities. Their council had created a charitable fund to accept humanitarian aid donations. We have a Pride of Place fund that we had set up several years ago, thanks to the leadership of our city manager, Bill Prokop. So from a mechanical standpoint of raising funds, transferring them to Ukraine. So I sent the mayor a message and just said, hey, I'm Mayor Stephen Murray from the city of Beaufort. We're thinking about you. We're pulling for you. How can we help? And they've got a bunch of refugees in their town. Fortunately, there's no Russian presence yet. Right. But they are trying to gather supplies and materials and getting them to the front lines while also taking care of refugees who are in their town.
And so how much have you raised?
So really exciting. As of last night, we raised just over $52,000.
Oh my gosh.
For the Ukraine, and 100% of those proceeds. So the city's there's no administrative fees from the city, no administrative fees coming out from Ostro. So 100% of those funds are going to go right to the people of Ukraine. And I've got to give a big shout out to Greg Rawls, the local glass artist in town, and Mary and Eric Thiebaud at Thiebaud Galleries on Bay Street. They've made, I think, over 700 or 800 pins and pendants now. And again, donating 100% of the proceeds. They're shipping these things all over the country. They're working their hands off shipping these things, and they've raised themselves over $20,000 of the 52.
What a gift.
This community is just remarkable in how generous we are, both locally and now internationally.
Fantastic. So kind of an unusual question. I was on the website today, and I saw all of these meetings, all of these different meetings, and I was thinking, I knew I was going to interview you. And so you're a great one for public input and public and community involvement. So of all those meetings and task forces and committees, how can the public be involved in some of those? Can they come and observe? Can they be actually part of some of those committees?
Robyn, so that's a great question. It's very timely. So with the city, we have what we call boards and commissions. Yeah. And that can be anything from the Park and Tree Advisory Committee, we call the PTAC, and that gives council and public works sort of guidance on where trees get planted or how we take care of our parks, and it's an advisory committee, all the way up to a committee like the Historic Review Board, which is meeting this week to consider development projects in the historic district. So we've got a half a dozen or so boards and commissions that we're always looking for citizen appointees. We prefer you live in the city of Beaufort, but on some of the commissions, that's not a requirement. All right. If you're a business owner, you have a professional background. But the reality is we have a place for just about anybody. And so there is a application on our website. So I encourage any citizen who is interested. We're going to have a whole round of appointments coming up in the next few months. So it's timely for people to put their applications in, and they can always reach out to me or any of my council colleagues or anybody in city management to talk about boards and commissions. All of the meetings are open to the public. They're also live streamed on Facebook, and people can provide comment virtually. You don't have to go down to City Hall anymore. So we really try to be accessible and open and easy for people to work with, but we're always looking for local talent to serve on our boards and commissions.
Great.
It's volunteer, so it's unpaid position.
You're not going to get paid.
but really
Great.
important for the future of our city.
Thank you so much. Stephen Murray, who is the mayor of the city of Beaufort. It's so good to see you again and appreciate your time today.
Robyn, thanks for having me on, and thanks for everything that you guys do at WHHI.
You're welcome, and we'll be right back with North of the Broad.